Good morning, children. Children, today we will discuss our history, last chapter of a syllabus from part 3, that is chapter 15. The name of the chapter is Framing the Constitution. Now, before we start our chapter, let us have some basic concept of it. I hope, children, you all know that when does our Indian Constitution came into effect. I hope this thing everyone knows, that is Indian Constitution came into effect on 26 January 1950, and it is the longest constitution in the world. And the Indian Constitution, what does it provide? It provides equal status to all the people of India, irrespective of their caste and communities. And the Constitution of India was framed between December 1946 and December 1949. Clear? Within this time period, our Indian Constitution was been formed. That is, it was formed on 26 November 1949 and it came into effect on 26 January 1950, as because on 26 January 1930 we have attempted the Purna Swaraj. Clear? For that reason, on 26 January 1950 the Constitution was been came into effect. Clear? Now this Constitution Assembly, it has held 11 sessions with sittings spread over 165 days. Clear? Now our first topic which we will discuss of this chapter is a tumultuous time. That means, what do you mean by tumultuous time? That means it was very excited, we can say. It was not proper, disbalanced before we form our Constitution. Now, the year before the making of Constitution was very tumultuous. That means it was, in Hindi we call uthal puthul. That was, nothing was proper. Everything was hodgepodge. Clear? Now, as you all know that the India got freedom on 15 August 1947, and we were very happy. Why? As we got independence, we got free from the British rule, right? But at the same time we were upset also, as because we have got pain too. We got happy on one side, and other side we got pain too, as because our nation was divided into two parts during that time. That is, the pain of partition was there. Clear? Now, as Quit India struggle, that is the Quit India movement of 1942, was the last struggle movement before our independence. So this Quit Indian struggle of 1942, its memories were fresh in the mind of the people, as because it was the last struggle. Clear? Now people remember the struggle of our heroes like Subhash Chandra Bose and many other heroes were there who had given their sacrifice their life for the sake of our country. But Congress and the Muslim League, they fail to achieve, or you can say, to bring a compromise the Hindu and Muslim religions and to bring social harmony. Clear? In the later 1940s, there was a protest movement by the workers and the peasant in different parts of the country. As you all know that the riots that took place in Calcutta at the time of independence in 1946, many innocent were killed during that time across northern and eastern India. Even during that time, the women, they were also treated badly. Clear? That means the worst treatment was being given to the women during that time. And many Muslim was stuck in India after independence. After we got independence, after the partition, we can say, Muslim was got stuck in India, and also Hindu and Sikh were also there who got stuck in Pakistan. They did not have any opportunity rather to face what the cruelty of the people they are doing to them. Clear? And no other option was left rather to accept the environment where they are. That is, the Muslim, they were in India, they have to accept the environment of India right now. They have to settle out there. And the Hindu and Sikh, they were also not having any option to come out from the Pakistan. If they will try to come out, they were being killed. So they were being forced, they were not having any option, they were being made forced to settle out there and accept the environment of that. Clear? And many refugees, they were moving across the boundaries, that is the Hindu and Sikh, they were in Pakistan, they want to reach India, and the Muslim, they were in India, want to reach Pakistan, but they could not reach their destination and were killed by the Hindu and Muslim. That is, Hindu and Sikh, if they are trying to come out of the Pakistan to India, they were being killed by the Muslim, and the Muslim, if they were trying to come out of the India to reach Pakistan, they were being killed by the Hindu. Clear? Now, this was the one problem. Apart from that, another problem was also being faced by the princely estate, as 1/3 of the area of the subcontinent was under the control of Nawab and Maharajas during that time, which were under the British rule. Now, when British left India during that time of partition, so it clearly said, that is the British, they said that the princely state, they said to the princely state to join either India or Pakistan, because partition was done. Now it's depend upon the princely state where they want to go. They want to go to India or they want to move to Pakistan. Clear? Now, if princely state, they said would have said that no, I do not want to go to India nor to the Pakistan, I want to form my own separate nation. Now, if a princely state could have formed its own nation, then India would be very small. Clear? Because there will be India, Pakistan and a princely state. Clear? Now, but out here, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel played a very important role. What he did is that he brought all the princely state under the control, or we can say under the territory of India. Clear? So this was the background of the Constitution Assembly which it made. Clear? Now we will move on to our next topic, that is making of the Constituent Assembly. Now, out here the member of the Constitution Assembly were being chosen. But under what basis they were being chosen? On the basis of election of 1946, that is provincial election of 1946. On that basis the member of Constitution Assembly was being selected. Clear? Now in the Constituent Assembly, Congress was the strongest party. Clear? As the Congress got victory in the general constituency, the League was successful in the reserved seat for the Muslim. That is, the League got successful for reserving the seat for the Muslim. Now the total member of the Constituent Assembly was 389. Out of this 389, which were been divided into 290 into the British provinces, and 93 were the princely state, and 4 were the chief commissioner provinces. Clear? Now 292, that was the British provinces. Member under it there were 11 governor provinces, like it include Madras, Bombay, UP, Bihar, Central provinces, Orissa, Punjab, West Frontier provinces, Sindh, Bengal, Assam. Clear? Now, this was the division number 292, and the 93 were the princely state, and 4 were the chief commissioner provinces. That belongs to include Delhi, Ajmer, British Baluchistan. Clear? Now, the Muslim League boycotted it. That is, they boycotted the Constituent Assembly and they demanded Pakistan to make separate constitution. Clear? Why they boycotted? As because major member out there in the assembly were the Hindu. So, the Muslim League has boycotted it. As because the majority was the Hindu, they were in the minority and their power will not be too much to rule the people. Clear? For to hold their power, to be more powerful, they has demanded to form the separate constitution. Clear? Now, the Socialist Party was also against the constitution, as because they believed that it belonged to the Britishers and they was been introduced it by the cabinet mission. Now, 82 members of the assembly were the Congress Party. Clear? as but all had were not having the same viewpoint, because if out of 100 members, if 82 were the Congress, rest for the other party, they were not having the same viewpoint. So some were inspired from the Socialist Party and some were from the Jamindari, as because both were different, because Socialist Party think for the poor, Jamindar think for the rich. And the discussion which used to take place in the Constituent Assembly, out there they used to take the public opinion, as because law was being made for the public only. Clear? Now argument and opinion used to be given by the member of the assembly, and whatever opinion they used to be give, that the report used to be published in the newspaper, and the public were also given their view about the law made for them. That is, if the assembly was making law for the public, what was the view of the public? The public also used to express their view out there, and their demand, like the demand of the public was like linguistic minority has asked for freedom of speech in the mother tongue. Lower caste they have demanded for the reservation of the separate seat in the government office, and the Hindu they have demanded for the prohibitions of the cow slaughter. Clear? So that all was the demand which was being made by the public in the assembly. Now next we will move on to the dominant voice. So out here the Constituent Assembly, how many members does it have? It have 300 member in all. Okay, so out of that 300 member, 6 member played a very important role in the assembly, and out of those 6 members, 3 were the representative of the Congress. And who were those 3? They were the Nehru, B.B. Patel and Rajendra Prasad. Now Jawaharlal Nehru, he played a very important role, and he has passed the objective resolution, and he said that the national flag of India to be a horizontal tricolor of saffron, white and dark green having equal proportion. Clear? With that, a wheel which will be of a navy blue at the center. Now next representative, or we can say the next member of this assembly was the Patel. What he did is that he also played a very important role in drafting of several reports, and he made harmony to the opposing point of a view. That means if anyone was saying the opposite, they are having the negative point of view, he used to create harmony in that. He used to create a positive view in that. Clear? Now the third member is our Rajendra Prasad. He played a very important role of a president of the assembly, and being the president of the assembly, he has given all his members a chance to speak in the Constituent Assembly. Okay, now these were the 3 members. Out of these 3 members, the rest 3 members were the B.R. Ambedkar. He was a lawyer and economist, and he was been appointed as a law minister with the help of M.K. Gandhi, that is Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, that is Gandhiji. He has appointed Ambedkar as a law minister, and he served as a chairman of the drafting committee of the Constitution. I hope children you all know who is the father of the Constitution. He was B.R. Ambedkar. And the other 2 lawyers apart from B.R. Ambedkar was the K.M. Munshi and Aladi Krishnaswamy Iyer. These 2 lawyers also both played a very important role in drafting of the Constitution. Clear? Now within these 6 members, that is apart from this 6 members, 2 other important members were also there who has helped them. That is 2 other members also there who played a very important role, who has assist this 6 member. Who was they were the B.N. Rao, who was the constitutional advisor, and S.N. Mukherjee, who was the chief draftsman. Now next we will move on to our next topic, that is the vision of the Constitution. So out here On 13 December 1946, Jawaharlal Nehru, he has introduced the objective resolution in the assembly. Now, what was the objective of that resolution? The objective of that resolution was that it has proclaimed that India to be an independent, sovereign and republic. Clear? Secondly, it has granted its citizen. What it has granted? Justice, equality and freedom to be given to all, irrespective of their group, that is caste or any discrimination will not be seen. That means justice, equality and freedom should be given to all of its citizens. And even it has assured that equal safeguard shall be provided for the minorities, backwards and the tribal areas and the depressed and other backward classes. Clear? That means everyone will be safeguarded equally, will be treated equally. There will be no discrimination among each other or among any of the citizens. And this constitution, they have borrowed the constitution from different countries, that is from the 60 countries they have borrowed the constitution, but they did not copy paste. Clear? So we borrowed our constitution, we did not copy or we copy from that other countries and we have pasted in our assembly. Clear? Like our member of the assembly used to visit to different countries, they used to attend the meeting of the different countries, and from that they used to grab the point which they found very important. They used to bring that point and they used to discuss in the session of the India. And then after this, they were discussing in the session, they used to have debate on that, and after that they used to finalize it out. Clear? Now, Nehru, it has suggested for making the constitution was of creative thinking which was appropriate for our India, which was based on our country. The suggestion was been given. Clear? Means what was he has suggested to make our constitution of creative thinking, and based on our country, the suggestion was been given by the different member of the assembly. Clear? Now next we will move on to the will of the people. So what was the will of the people? Let's see out here. Okay. Now Somnath Lahiri was a member of the Communist Party, and what he saw is that he saw that the work which was done in the assembly was being done under the supervision of the British imperialism. And when he saw this thing, he requested the member of the Constituent Assembly and the Indian people that to fully free themselves from whom? From the influence of the imperial rule, that is to free themselves from the British rule. As the debate during 1946 to 47 was going on in the Constituent Assembly, so during that time also British was still there in India. They have not gone out of the India. Now an interim administration was there in our India, which was been headed by the Jawaharlal Nehru. But as in the interim administration, the head was the Jawaharlal Nehru, but it's operate under the direction of the Viceroy and the British government in London. They were operating it. Now Nehru, he has admitted that the most nationalist leader had they are demanding to have different kind of constituent assembly. Now out here Nehru, what he said is that he emphasized that we are here for the Indian people, and also we are out here working out here for making the constitution for the people of our country. So what he said is that it doesn't matter who made the Constituent Assembly. What it matters is that the country should be run by ourselves. That should matter. Who formed the Constituent Assembly, it doesn't matter, but the country should be run by ourselves. Clear? Now new Indian was been going to establish, which tried to change by introducing some fact as what was the demand of the people. During that time, the demand of the people in the 19th century, they were demanding for their rights. Social reforms movement was going on. As many social reformers were opposing for the child marriage. They were demanding that widows should be allowed to remarry, isn't it? Widows should be allowed to get remarry, as because after independence this change should be brought. Now Swami Vivekananda was also there, who has worked for the who formed the campaigns for doing reform of the Hinduism. Jyotibai Phule, she was from Maharashtra. She worked for the suffering of the depressed caste, and she says that after independence such discrimination should not be there in the country. Even the Socialist and the Communist Party, they also organized a movement for the workers and the peasant, and they demanded economic and social justice for them. As you all know, during the colonial rule, peasants had suffered a lot. They were being made to pay huge tax. The demand for the right has grew a lot, and the British, they have passed numbers of acts like of 1909, 1919, 1935, and all those these laws and act was been enacted by the colonial government, not by the Indian. But whichever act was been profitable was been implemented by we the Indian people. Clear? So children, so till this much, just go through it. If any doubt, you just ask me, okay? So in our next class, we will move with the defining rights, okay? Thank you.